Hello viewers, welcome again to example 2 on the simultaneous equations that I started with you in the first video. In the first video, we started learning about simultaneous equations and we've done a detailed explanation on it, and also we've solved an example on it as well in the first video. Okay, so this is a continuation to solve another example with you so that you get a better understanding of it. So as you can see from the board, I've written example 2. Okay, so it means we've already done example 1 in the first video. Okay, so I will advise that you do well to watch the first video because the first video lays the foundation. Okay, I've done a lot of explanation in the first video which you need to know, okay, so that you can easily handle this session as well. So do all to watch the first video to get a good foundation to be able to handle this session as well. As I said, this is just a continuation to solve another example with you so that you get a better understanding of it. Okay, so do all to watch the first video, and please don't forget to like the videos and also share them after watching. And if you are watching for the first time, please do all to follow the page as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve the example 2 that I have on the board. Okay, so example 2, it says solve the equations 2x plus y equals to 1 and minus 2x plus 3y equals to 19. Okay, so we are solving for the values of x and y in the given equations, okay, using the substitution method. Okay, that's why I've written substitution method on the board. Okay, and I've explained to you from the first video that the substitution method simply means that we are using the change of subject to solve the simultaneous equation. Okay, it is just the application or the use of change of subject in solving simultaneous equations. Okay, so that's what we learned and we did in the first video. So we are applying the same knowledge to solve this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve it together. Okay, so I'm going to write down my solution. Okay, and we are going to label our equations. Okay, I've explained to you from the first video that the first step is to pick the equations given and you label them. Okay, you can see you have two equations. Okay, we have the first equation and we have the second equation. So I'll pick the first equation and label it as equation 1. Okay, then I'll pick the second equation also and I'll label it as equation 2. That's the first step. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm going to write my 2x plus y equals to 1. Okay, and I'm going to label it as equation 1. Okay, and I'm going to also write my minus 2x plus 3y equals to 19. Then I'll label it as equation 2. Okay, I hope you understand and you agree with me up to this point. All that we did is to label the equations, okay, as equation 1 and 2. Okay, and I've explained to you from the first video that from here the next step is that you choose to make any variable the subject from any of the given equations. Okay, so from any of the given equation you choose to make any variable the subject. Okay, so you can choose to make x the subject from equation 1, or you can also choose to make y the subject from equation 1, or if you want to start with equation 2 you can choose to make x the subject from equation 2 or make y the subject from equation 2. You'll get the same answer. Okay, but I will prefer to start with equation 1. I'm going to make x the subject from equation 1. Okay, or someone can choose to make y the subject from equation 1. You get the same thing. Okay, so okay, let's go ahead and make y the subject from equation 1. You see that we'll get the same answer. If you choose to make x the subject from equation 1, you will equally get the same answer. So I'm going to make y the subject from equation 1, okay, for us to use it to solve. Okay, so from equation 1, I'm going to write making y the subject. Okay, so from equation 1, okay, comma, making y the subject. Okay, so I'm going to make y the subject from equation 1. Okay, so making y the subject simply means that you are making y to stand alone. Okay, I've taught you change of subject, so we are applying that knowledge here. Okay, so making y the subject simply means that you are making y to stand alone in the equation. Okay, so everything which is attached to y, we are going to move it away so that y can stand alone in the equation, and that is we making y the subject. Okay, so let's go ahead. So from the equation 1, we have our 2s plus y equals to 1. Okay, so to make y the subject, we have our y equals to 2s, our y will be equal to 1 minus 2s. I hope you agree with me. So this is my y, which is here, my equal sign is there, and my 1 is there, this is the 1 which is there, and this positive 2s will cross the equal sign. It is positive, so when it crosses the equal sign, it becomes negative, so we have minus 2s. So my y equals to 1 minus 2s. Okay, I hope you understand and you agree with me. Okay, so we made y the subject from equation 1. Okay, so y will be equal to 1 minus 2s. Okay, so this positive 2s crosses the equal sign. When anything crosses the equal sign, the sign it has changes. Okay, it is positive. When it crosses the equal sign, it becomes negative. That's why we have minus 2s. So we have our y equals 1 minus 2s. Okay, that's we making y the subject. So y is standing alone. We've made y the subject. Okay, so now we are going to label this as equation 3. Okay, so that's the next step. We label this one as equation 3. Okay, and this equation 3, we are going to put it into equation 2. Okay, and I've explained from the first video why we are not putting it into equation 1 but equation 2, because it was from equation 1 that we made y the subject, so we cannot go and put it back into equation 1. That would be wrong. Okay, because it was from that equation 1 that we made y the subject, so we will not go and put it into equation 1. We have to put it into equation 2 instead. Okay, I hope the explanation is clear enough up to this point. Okay, so we are going to put our equation 3 into equation 2. Okay, so let's write putting equation 3 into equation 2. Okay, I hope you understand and you agree with me up to this point. Okay, so we are putting equation 3 into equation 2. Okay, so let me write the equation 2 down. This is the equation 2. We have minus 2s plus 3y. Okay, minus 2s plus 3y equals to 19. Okay, and we are going to put equation 3 into 8. So it means that wherever we see y in equation 2, we are going to put the value of y there, which is 1 minus 2s. Okay, because we've made y the subject, which is the equation 3, and we are putting it into the equation 2. So wherever we see y in equation 2, we are going to put 1 minus 2s there, because the value of y is 1 minus 2s. I hope you understand. So let's go ahead and put it into equation 2. So I'm going to repeat my minus 2s here, then plus the 3 is multiplying the y. So you bring your bracket which shows multiplication, and the y, we are going to put its value there, which is the 1 minus 2s. Okay, so 3, you bring your bracket because the bracket means multiplication, because this 3 is multiplying the y. So 3 into bracket, we have 1 minus 2s. Okay, then you close your bracket. I hope you understand up to this point. Equals to, then you bring your 19. Okay, so all that we did is to substitute the value of y into equation 2. Okay, so wherever we see y in equation 2, we put 1 minus 2s there, and that is exactly what we did. Okay, so now we are going to now open our bracket. Okay, we are going to expand, okay, and open our bracket and solve further. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to repeat my minus 2s, and this positive 3 will open its bracket. So positive 3 times 1 gives positive 3, and positive 3 times minus 2s gives minus 6s. I hope you understand and you agree with me up to this point, equals to the 19. Okay, so now let's go ahead and group like terms and solve further. Okay, I'm going to continue from this side. Okay, so I have my minus 2s, okay, minus 6s equals to my 19 is there. Then this positive 3 will cross the equal sign to go and join the 19. It is positive, so when it crosses the equal sign becomes negative, so minus 3. Okay, so I'm going to have minus 2s minus 6s is going to give me minus 8s equals to 19 minus 3 will give me 16. Okay, I hope you agree with me up to this point. Now what do I do to get my s? I'll divide through by negative 8 now. So I'll divide here by negative 8 and here also by negative 8, so that this negative and this negative sign cancel. This 8 and this 8 cancel. 8 goes here 1, 8 goes into the 16 2 times, and I hope you agree with me. Okay, so we'll get our s will be equals to negative 2. Okay, because the negative down here will affect it. Okay, so our s is equals to negative 2. We've gotten the value for s, okay, which is negative 2. So now we are going to put the value of s into any of the 3 equations that we have on the board for us to solve for y. Okay, so you can put it in either equation 1, 2, or 3, and you get your value for y. Okay, so if you choose to use equation 1, you get the same answer. Equation 2, you get the same answer, or equation 3, you get the same answer. But I would prefer to use equation 3 because the equation 3 we've already made y the subject, so it's much easier. Okay. That notwithstanding, when you use any of the equations, you get the same answer. Okay, the reason I'm using equation 3 because we've made y the subject already from equation 3. Okay, so putting the value of s into it will be much simple for us to get for the value for y. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our value, which is s is equals to minus 2 into equation 3. So I'll write putting my s is equals to negative 2 into equation 3. Okay, I hope you understand and you agree with me up to this point. Okay, so the equation 3, I have my y equals to 1 minus 2s. Okay, so it means wherever I see s in this equation, I'm going to put minus 2 there. Okay, so I'm going to have my y is equals to 1 minus 2 into brackets minus 2, because the 2 and the s, they are multiplying and the value of s is minus 2, so you put your minus 2 there. Okay, so you have your y equals to 1 minus 2 times minus 2 will give me positive 4. Okay, I hope you understand. So you have your y is equals to 5. Okay, so we've gotten the value for y also. Okay, so we can conclude by saying therefore our s is equals to negative 2 and our y is equals to positive 5. Okay, so that's it for solving the simultaneous equation given on the board, okay, by the substitution method. I hope the explanation was clear enough and you understood it as well. Please don't forget to like the video and also share the video as well. I'll see you again in another video whilst we solve more examples on this. Bye bye.